Okay, grade 11, this is lesson number 3, the research context, and we're going to be preparing and spending most of the time actually today with resources that Mrs. Lamash put together for you on how to do research for your IA. But I'm going to start by helping you understand why the research is important, which parts of your IA you need to have research for, kind of connecting those things first. So why do we have to do research? Why do we have to look up online other sources or in books and databases other sources when the IA is an investigation? Well, several components of the IA require other sources of information. And the biggest one to start with is for you to plan an investigation, conduct it, and then analyze it with an investigation we haven't done together in class. You're going to need to do some research. You don't have a huge vast knowledge base of a variety of biological investigations you can do. You may have to look up what's the best procedure for measuring this particular variable. What kind of constants are really important in an investigation about algae, that kind of stuff. You may have to do some research to help you plan your investigation, the methodology. So there's 4 or 5 main parts of the completed IA report that require research. In the personal engagement part of the rubric here, it's worth 2 points or 8% of the total grade. You need to talk about how the connection to you and how it connects to your life and why you chose it, why you're interested in that topic. And a lot of times students cite sources in their personal engagement, in their introduction. And they're going to talk about a place they visited or an experience they had, and they cite sources to connect the facts they're saying to what they're actually going to be investigating. We'll look at an example of that later on today. In the background information part, you get part of that as part of your exploration grade, 6 out of 24 points, so 25% of your IA score is exploration. So talking about giving enough information to give a context for your research. So if you're looking at obesity and diabetes, you need to talk about what is obesity, what is diabetes, define those things for your investigation, and that's part of the background information. In the hypothesis, this is really important for all parts of your IA grade, and you need to have enough knowledge of the topic to make a good hypothesis. So you should do some research before you make your hypothesis. It should just be a guess without any sort of education or knowledge beforehand. So feel free to research what you think is going to happen and then use that to write your hypothesis. In the methodology, which is part of your exploration grade, the approach you're using to answer your question, the investigation you're going to actually do, whether that's statistical analysis, whatever it happens to be, you're going to have to cite a source where you found ideas for how to do that investigation the most effective way to answer your particular question. And then on discussion, which is part of your evaluation grade, 25% of your final IA grade, you're going to be comparing the scientific context. And that means citing other sources of research that are similar to what you chose to do and see if their results and your results are similar or not. So you're talking about your background research. It's really important not only to have background research and all these components, but also to cite your sources. Why is it important, super important to cite sources as well as have them? Well, of course, things are more credible, more reliable when the source is cited. If you make a statement that's not common sense, you need to cite the source. And you'll notice in your lab reports I've been grading that I say, where's the source, where's the source, where's the source? Because anything that's not common knowledge, you have to cite a source. The IA explicitly states in the rubrics that you must compare your findings to scientific context, and that means saying, this study done by these scientists at this university found blah, blah, blah. My experiment found blah, blah, blah. They're similar this way, they're different this way. You have to say which study you're comparing with. And it's my job, I complete a form along with you reflecting on the IA process. And I have to state that I know that your data was collected by you, that it's cited properly by you, that you use proper citation format, and you follow the standards of research. So for our school, we use MLA, so you're going to use MLA format for your citations, and that includes in-text citations and bibliography. Students who don't do in-text citations get a much lower grade than those who do them. We'll look at some examples of that as well today. So first example we're going to look at is a complete investigation, and this is a student who investigated on duckweed, which is a kind of algae. So let's take a look at their investigation, at the background information and the extract, and we'll look at what they did for research, and we're also going to look at the other components here as well. Okay, this one. So this person's question is, what is the effect of a decreasing petroleum diesel emulsifier concentration by serial dilution on the population growth of Lemna minor, also known as duckweed, over a 7-day period measured by the number of fronds remaining per day? So they chose to do, in their topic selection, they cited some sources about how to them their personal connection was about the environment and oil spills and how that was something they're very passionate and interested in, which is a good reason to do it, and they cited sources for that, right? About what they're saying about fracking and other industry parts. There's 2 in-text citations here. And then the background information, they had to define what duckweed is, or Lemna minor, and they had to set a source for that. They also had to talk about how you can measure duckweed growth rates, so I had a source for that as well, and talking about how that affects the rest of the aquatic systems. They could set a source for that. Now, the student actually lost points. They didn't talk about the emulsifier in their experiment, the second part of their experiment, how the emulsifier affects duckweed. So they should have talked about that in background information, but they didn't. So make sure for yours you talk about every component of your experiment. What does it mean? What do we know about it? That kind of stuff. Okay, and they use the information to help write their hypotheses and their question. This student chose to do a pilot experiment, which is a good choice because they learned a lot of things. They started off by finding out that they put too many duckweed fronds initially in the container, and it grew too quickly. It outgrew each other, and they all died. So that didn't work. They used too much petroleum diesel to begin with, and that was a problem. It killed everything way too quickly to see any difference between the different iterations and trials. The container was too small. They used a bigger container. And they used an emulsifier, soap, that included antibiotic, which is not good for duckweed. So these are a lot of things they learned from their first pilot experiment they need to change for the full experiment. It was loaded over 3 days. It wasn't a huge experiment, but it gave them a lot of really valuable information. Okay, they have their independent variables, the number of fronds, and the concentration of the petroleum diesel emulsifier as an independent variable. And look at all these constants. Okay, and then we have the method. They looked up things to compare about how they're using the method. So they looked up how to do serial dilutions, and down here, how to count duckweed. So does this count as a separate frond? And they cite the source of that information. So looking up stuff in your methods is important to help you make sure you have a good methodology, following the standards of the field. And then if you look down here at all the silver stats they did, in the discussion, okay, so we have them citing sources about comparing their data with another experiment. And when they're evaluating their method, they're also talking about what worked and didn't work and why, and what that means by comparing it as well. Looking at extensions, and then citing all their sources at the end. Notice there's not a ton of sources, but they're really specific and high quality sources that fit. Okay, so that's the experimental one. Now I also have an example of someone who did database analysis. So in this database IA, it's not great quality necessarily, but it gives you a good idea of some ideas of where you can start if you're choosing to do working with secondary data that someone else produced. So this person looked at the correlation between HDI and malaria mortality rates, and they did not do any in-text citations. Now they have a decent worksite at the end, and because I work with this student, I know that it's their own work, but they're going to lose points for not having in-text citations. Okay, so, but they did include in their investigation a really important citation here, is they chose reliable sources for their data points. So from Our World in Data, from HDI, from the UN Human Development Reports, and then from the World Health Organization. Both really important, good sources that they can use to do this. And if you're choosing to use someone else's data, you have to know that's reliable data. Okay, so today, your last step, after you kind of look through Mrs. Master's stuff on research and do a little bit of research preparation, is you need to take your list of 5 ideas that was homework, and I gave you some feedback on, and narrow it down to 3 best ideas. And you're going to figure out which of those 5 are the 3 best ones for your mock IA based on the research. Okay, so go back to the do's and don'ts I shared for you and uploaded to our Schoology page. And if you can't find sufficient information to compare your data with, to figure out what methodology is going to work, then that's not a good topic choice. Okay, pick a topic that you're going to be able to find versus compare with, and make sure you bookmark, cite, write down the sources you're finding now, because you'll want to make sure you have access to them when you're doing your actual full IA write-up. You don't want to find an amazing source to compare your data with and then lose it because you can't find it later on. That'd be really frustrating. Okay, so that's your homework, is to upload your notes, including the task Ms. Lamash is going to give you, and then narrowing down to your top 3 ideas. I will talk with each of you about your top 3 ideas. We'll kind of discuss what your plan is for that. Okay guys, hope this was helpful. As always, please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. Have a good day.